the biggest thing that's changed about workplace culture is the fact we're even having that conversation and talking about workplace culture. For so long, the idea that you would just show up to a job, do the work, that was the focus. But now thinking about what that environment might be like, what makes for a positive culture where people feel supported and able to contribute and to be fulfilled and satisfied and engaged in their work, that was pretty uncommon when I first began my career 20 years ago. It really just wasn't the expectation. And what was thought of as acceptable was also very different. There's conversation now around what a toxic work environment looks like, what a positive work environment looks like. And so that's really wonderful that we're thinking about it in that way. And I think leads to more satisfied employees, more productivity, and longer relationships with your employer. And then it helps us support one another and feel supported ourselves in our work.
That's a really good point, Lindsey. I would say from, having been in the work world for the last 40 years, it's drastically changed. Nobody ever talked about culture back in the day, work culture. And nowadays, as I'm interviewing people, that's a really important question that the interviewees come back and ask us, what is the culture like at Bryan and Stratton? How would you define it? They're asking all of those types of questions because that is really important for them as they're entering the workforce or deciding to make a career change. I think it's been really important for females. They're really looking for a culture that is, going to have empathy towards the family dynamic or their work-life balance. Back in the day, work-life balance, that wasn't even a concept that we talked about. And nowadays, I believe, working mothers, working women, that's all really important to them, knowing that entering, their career at a specific company, that they're gonna be aware of what females may be going through within their lives and have some empathy related to that.
Well, and I think that's an important point too, especially when you think about the glass ceiling and being able to advance in your career and having a culture where women would feel like they could or even see that they could, and having other women that were in management level positions. I remember in my first job, there weren't any high-level managers. That like you might get to a mid-level manager, but then that seemed like that was the highest you could reach for. And that's changed dramatically. And at least in the organizations I've worked for, I currently work for an organization where our CEO and president is a woman. And that's incredible. And we're seeing more and more of that. And that perspective in leadership positions impacts culture across the board for others. And I think that is really positive and opens up a world of opportunity for anyone entering into the workforce today compared to when we first entered.
Yeah, that is a really good point, because I will tell you, when I first entered long ago, there were no women, at that level. So, we still have a long way to go, but I believe women are making really big strides nowadays.